Change was always something that I found hard. My friends, teachers, and home that I had to leave behind must have been the hardest part. We had loaded the final boxes and were about to head towards the west. From Quebec to Ontario, all I could do was hope for the best. I remember that summer. It had gone by so quickly. Soon enough, it was back to school. I'm usually excited to see my friends and teachers, yet this time I was not so happy. Je ne vous comprenais pas et je déteste cette école. I began to miss my old home and school friends. I did not want to be where I was at all. You know what? This change isn't so bad, I soon thought. New friends were made, school was great, and the new home with my family I liked a lot. I always loved gym, science, and math class, yet literacy I detested. Having to read and write was just not my cup of tea, and as I matured, my thoughts of literacy never changed. Reading and writing was not my forte nor interest. If only there was a meaningful way of learning phonics, grammar, and sentence structure too. Those book reports, such boring things to do. That grade 6 speech about ancient Greek, oh what a torture. I always couldn't wait until literacy class was over. I will never become an author. Who cares about this class? Another book to read? Oh, come on. Let's just watch a movie. All of the things that would go through my mind. Sometimes I even began to lose all of my motivation and wished I could leave literacy behind. In today's English class, we will be taking a look at poetry. Through writing poetry, we will find different perspectives, representations, and interpretations, said the teacher. Poetry, as in roses are red and violets are blue, I thought. The teacher was actually referring to limerick, cinquain, and haiku. Oh boy, here we go again with reading, writing, and having to think. Cinquain, feelings, it makes me sad. I get blue, I do not enjoy writing. Haiku, swimming through the shore, gracefully without a care, making life so clear. Limerick, today in English class I felt free, like birds flying high, so gracefully. The ways I am able to express myself come endlessly. For once, I began to enjoy the process of reading and writing. The ability to express my own self through poetry gave me an interest and a better understanding in literacy. Through my newly found hobby, I enhanced my reading and writing skills, and I blossomed. My language arts course had made me reflect about both the positive and negative experiences I had as an English language learner. Coming from a French province, it was quite a transition going into grade 4 without any prior instructions in the English language. As concepts and content were taught to me in a way of memorization and forceful like need to always know, I never enjoyed literacy. It would have been very beneficial if I had learned how to read and write through meaningful experiences that would have built a desire within myself to engage in literacy tasks. I would then have co-equally built a love of literacy and enhanced my reading and writing skills and understanding in literacy. Once I began high school, in my grade 9 English class, I was introduced to poetry for the very first time. Analyzing written work and trying to find the emotions, meanings, or interpretations behind a piece of work, I began to really enjoy. Quite often, I would try to put myself in the shoes of the writers and ask myself why such piece of writing was written, or what was the message behind this work. I started to relate to some of the poems I read. That is when I began to write not only for the purposes of my course, yet as a hobby as well. My hobby took me further than I thought in life after I met an international award-winning poet. I was later on invited to her book signing, in which I gave a speech and read some of her poems and mine to the audience as well. I met movie producers, other poets, and writers and directors too. It was an experience of a lifetime. Change hasn't always been easy for me, yet with my goals in mind, I often find myself to have the need to be a risk taker. I take those risks and reach for my goals. As a future teacher, I will take those extra miles to make my classroom as meaningful as possible, especially in literacy. I won't just be looking at the skills and knowledge my students are lacking. I want to scaffold and have my students express and present their strengths. With that, we can utilize the strengths they already have to further grow and develop those essential skills and important concepts needed to know in life. Let's make a change in our classrooms. Let's utilize our diverse learning environment to produce rich learning experiences built from the many strengths and talents within the classroom. So let's use these students' strengths to enhance both student and educators' learning experiences. Every child is unique and different in their own ways. Children are active learners and engaged in what interests them. Let's teach them how to read and write through phonics, sentence structures, and all other aspects of literacy in a meaningful way that will trigger their interest and build on their development and skills as both writers and readers in English. Let's make language arts meaningful, enjoyable, and something to look forward to in every classroom.